everyone, and welcome back to the park. Today is a very special video because it's the last one with my old intro, and soon there will be a new intro screen that matches the new outro screen. So yeah! And also the videos will be nice chronological order because last video had the large obnoxious Twitch overlay and no new end screen. Video before that had the smaller little end screen that is not as obnoxious, and had the end screen because I was making the end screen. So yeah, today we're making the intro screen to go with the outro screen. Yeah. So started as usual with my tiny little sketch layer, just thumbnailed, then pulled it up, threw on a more detailed sketch layer, and then just layered them till I had a lower the opacity and layered them on until I had something that I didn't hate. That's not true, actually. I really enjoyed working on this and the end screen that goes with it, so I actually do like how they turned out. They're just happy. It was also fun working on the letters. Normally I hate lettering in most forms, but there was just something about going from the scribbled on and then just making the letters squishier on each pass that I did quite enjoy. So apparently I like lettering, but only if I'm making it into balloons. But yeah, my old intro screen was actually some branding that I'd made for a convention probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I'd had some annoyance at some other conventions that I'd been showing at, where like I like the print walls, like they look cool when people set them up behind their table, but for one of the conventions I was at, actually it's happened since then, but that was partially my fault. Anyways, well I'll talk about that in a second. But there was one convention I was at. And the people across from me, actually they were not across from me. They were almost across from me. Basically the artist alley was set up basically like an alley would make sense. So I was in one of the inner rows, and I was the third table from the left. Not from the left. I mean, if you started at the end of the aisle, I was 3 down from the like walkway sort of thing. And on the other side, the tables facing us, table facing me was, I think he was a school teacher. He wasn't there on the Friday, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm confusing it with Planet of that year. They were both in Bartle Hall. I can't quite remember. No, that was Planet. Anyways, I can't remember who was directly across from me, if I'm being honest, apparently. One of the conventions with a very similar placement and setup, I was across from the school teacher who wasn't there Friday, but he was very nice. Anyways, so table directly across from me in the aisle, perfectly fine, that I was facing. The 2 tables next to him were one artist collective. So it was like a studio, which would be fine. I'm cool with, like, artists collaborating, obviously. Like, I don't have an issue with, like, a studio and a concept or anything. I have an issue when someone... Okay, another thing is, this was in Bartle Hall. It's the Kansas City Convention Center. It's massive. It's, like, I think it's, like, several football fields in length or something like that. But that means that it has really high ceilings. So these people, this group of artists, and I should also mention this convention didn't have they had a limit of how far you could set up stuff, like horizontally. Like you had like the 6 feet behind your table. So basically you had like your table, and then you had you had the 8 feet behind your table, because this convention had 8-foot artist alley tables. Like they were massive. but like the table space was not the issue with this convention. We can talk about KCCC some other time. Okay, I got some tea. Anyways, so they had created a print wall, which again is fine. They're fun. But this is one of the ones that clips to the tables. So this wall started in the middle of the table, like horizontally. And they have two 8-foot tables. They have 16 feet of tables. So this wall goes across all 16 feet. And it goes up probably a good 20 feet. Like, it was truly massive. Literally, it went up like 20, 30 feet above the table. And just this one little, like 2 foot by 2 foot, like 2 foot by like 3 foot square for someone to sit in the middle of it. So this thing is massive. You can see this thing from almost anywhere on the floor. And I am almost directly across from it. And I swear, I spent half of that convention being all, I'm being my convention self. So I'm being really cheerful. I'm being really excited. And I was like, I was like 21, I think. I was like I could drink, because this is before I was on my anxiety meds. So I would just get like tipsy before conventions to deal with my social anxiety, which I wouldn't really recommend, but that's what I did. So I knew I could drink, but it was pretty new. So I was like 21, 22. And like, I could put on the Excited Pep. Like, I can still put on the Excited Pep, but I can also turn it off because I've worked retail since then. So I am being the most cheerful, adorable, and this is before I like stopped putting so much effort in. So I am wearing like one of my cutest outfits. I am wearing a full face of makeup. I probably had glitter on my face. Like, the whole shebang. I am adorable. I am cheerful. I am talkative. And I spent half that convention with people standing 2 feet in front of my table with their backs to me, looking at this print wall and never acknowledging my presence. So, of course, I wanted to make a print wall for the next convention, so I had something to get them to pay me attention. I need attention. But, yeah, so I think that's why I created my old logo, and yeah, it was a bit old, so I wanted to make something cohesive that went to my end screen. It was nicer. And to just spent the entire video complaining about the convention experience. Maybe we'll do that in the next one too. Convention stories. But yeah, so pretty much it's the same process as the last one. Same brush, same light layers, that sort of thing. And yeah, so here is the finished intro screen. And thank you for visiting the park today. I hope your visit was pleasant and everyone is staying safe.